Hey, 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 everyone. So I am tuning in and going live a little bit later, but um, first I'll tell you that the reason why I'm a little bit later than usual is because I was at my twins' last back to school night. They are seniors, but coincidentally, the topic that I'm going to discuss today, I want to highlight one of their teachers, one of their STEM teachers, their AP Calc teacher, Mr. Maddow, who's doing an excellent, excellent job of being an equitable grader. So, first, just to let you know, this is day 18 of live streaming, day 18 out of 30 for 30 days of equitable grading in STEM. And on day 18, we are talking about retakes and redos. So, one test, and we know this, one test shouldn't define a student's ability forever, right? Mastery is shown over time, not in a single moment. And so retake opportunities shift grades from being about snapshots to being about growth. Oh, I forgot I was going to start off with a quote. This quote, it's also in the book. All of the planner days begin with a quote. This quote is from Thomas Gusky, and it says, "A student's worth is not defined by their circumstances," right? Because we're still trying to make sure that grades are not reflective of a student's environment or circumstances, which could very well happen if we're only looking at a snapshot, right? They could have a bad day. Something could happen the day before that prevents them from turning in an assignment. So the point is, how do we infuse retakes and redos into your grading system? And that is actually the prompt that I want us to think about, the reflection prompt for today. How can you build opportunities for retakes into your grading system? So one of the actions I'm going to have you do is actually draft a retake policy for just one type of assessment, just one, right? It may be do nouns, it may be homeworks, it may be quizzes, it may be your assessments, right? Summative or some formative assessment. But I want you to think about that. So, for example, if we're going to do something like a test, students may retake a unit test once after attending a review session. That is an adjustment to a policy that provides students with opportunities to demonstrate mastery over time, right? It emphasizes reflection because you're going to have them come to a review session where you can actually engage them in a discussion around what they got wrong, why they may have gotten it wrong. It emphasizes preparation and growth, all of those things over failure, right? So it's important to think about that. Now, I also wanted to highlight something that the twins, their math teacher, as I said before, we just got back from back to school night for them, the last one that we will do because they are seniors. And one of the things that Mr. Maddow does is he provides do nows, and he uses the do nows. This is for calculus, AP Calc, AB. And what he's doing is he realizes that there are skills, some skills that students may not have mastered or they may have forgotten from Algebra 2 Trig last year when they were juniors. And so he wants to provide them with the practice, and he needs to know where they are. And so what he does is he gives a do now at the beginning of class, and the do now is often reflective of some of those older skills like limits, right? Some of the other things that they may need to know in Algebra 2. So he's assessing them on previous skills while still trying to move forward and teach the new AP Calc curriculum. And so the do now being only about 5 minutes in class, one of the things, and he says you need to be on time to get a do now, right? So students get to class, they sit down, they do this do now. Now he scores it. And so you'll get a score out of, I believe, four or five. And no matter what the score is, he gives you an opportunity to come to him at lunch and redo it. That's a redo. Why does he care about the redo? You can redo it. You can get practice worksheets on it. He has a whole wall filled with all of these older skills that are necessary skills, right, for students to master in order to do well on the AP Calc exam and to do well in his class. He cares about them learning AP Calculus. And because of that, he's going to ensure that they have enough practice of the skill. And how does he infuse it when he has this curriculum that he has to get through? Through the do nows. Through the do nows. Do nows take up about 5 minutes of class time. He reads every single do now, scores every single do now. He has over 100 students. That is a lot. That is a lot. But guess what? He also has a majority of the class getting 4s and 5s on the AP exam. The students are learning the math. They are learning AP Calculus. And they are building expertise in the math skills that they needed. You might provide students with a reflection template, right? This is also going to help them see that understanding why they got something wrong, understanding where their gap is, helps them learn better and prepare better in the future. So a couple of questions that you might ask if you were to say, listen, but before you retake this test, you need to attend a review session and you need to turn in a retake request form. So you might have them complete a form, and the form might ask questions such as, what did you learn from your first attempt? How did you prepare differently this time? Or how will you prepare differently this time? And then what support do you need to succeed? What additional practice might you need in order to do better this next time? How powerful might that be to have students reflect on that level? So retakes are not a waste of time. They're not inflating grades, right? Instead, they're ensuring that students are learning and mastering the standards that you care about. Retakes communicate that mistakes are part of learning and not the end of it. They turn assessments into a growth experience and not a judgment experience. So with that, I'm going to end in the way that I always end, and that is to remember that every grade tells a story. So make it one worth telling. All right. Thank you, and have a good night. See you tomorrow for day 19.